Hello, I'm Nancy Southerland. I'm your instructor for Chapter 1, Overview of Marketing. I trust that you will enjoy the following lecture. Students, these questions are the learning objectives guiding the chapter and will be explored in more detail in the following slides. The role of marketing in organizations will be examined. Further, we will discuss how marketers create value for a product or service, including how marketing is important both within and outside the firm. Students, this definition of marketing covers many different perspectives. Marketing is the activity, set of institutions, and processes for creating, capturing, communicating, delivering, and exchanging offerings that have value for customers, clients, partners, and society at large. Students, what does this definition of marketing really mean? What does value really mean? Marketing is truly about satisfying the needs and wants of the consumer, i.e. the customer. Let us examine this Lexus advertisement. Can you identify who this ad is targeted? You might mention groups based on age or gender, but the ad is targeted to those who find style an important element. What benefits are attributed to a Lexus car? Other benefits might include the status of the Lexus brand. Please see how much style all the different models of the Lexus have, including the SUVs. Check out the link www.lexus.com. Students, marketing must entail an exchange. Each party to the exchange gives up something of value. The customer usually gives up money. However, sometimes they also give up time and information. This is done in the preliminary time before the purchase. The firm gives up the good or service. I really like this slide. I would ask that you study it diligently. Students, this is an overview of the 4 P's which will be discussed later in great depth. In fact, marketing requires product, price, place, and promotion decisions. The product creates value. The price is indicative of capturing value. The place is responsible for delivering value, while promotion has the responsibility for the communication of value. I'm asking you to know each of these classifications for testing and for writing. Students, the purpose of marketing is to create value by offering goods, services, or ideals to satisfy customer needs. Thus, the product can be a good, service, or ideas. It is generally easy to relate to goods and services, but the marketing of ideals is generally harder to grasp, such as an example of drunk driving prevention. Students, how is that ideal marketed? The answer is organizations such as Mothers Against Drunk Driving or Students Against Drunk Driving often receive support from brewers and distillers in promoting responsible drinking and driving. What is the exchange these groups are asking consumers to enter? Well, they want you to consume alcohol in a manner that is consistent with safety, which means sacrificing some consumption. Students, the purpose of marketing is to create value by offering goods, services, or ideals to satisfy customer needs. Thus, the product can be a good, service, or ideas. It is generally easy to relate to goods and services, but the marketing of ideals is generally harder to grasp, such as an example of drunk driving prevention. Students, how is that ideal marketed? The answer is organizations such as Mothers Against Drunk Driving or Students Against Drunk Driving often receive support from brewers and distillers in promoting responsible drinking and driving. What is the exchange these groups are asking consumers to enter? Well, they want you to consume alcohol in a manner that is consistent with safety, which means sacrificing some consumption. Price is everything a buyer gives up: money, time, energy in exchange for the product. Students, I want you to also remember that price is capturing value. A good example of how price expresses value is the variations in price associated with air travel. The prices can be varied based on the demand for flight, timing, and destinations. and pricing strategies will be discussed in a later chapter. But for now, I want to make mention of the notion of market pricing versus cost pricing. This slide emphasizes place, delivering the value proposition. I want to emphasize that place delivers the product to the customers. Without all members of the supply chain, the product will not get to the right customer. Students, please do not overlook the importance of this component of the marketing mix because it is not as readily visible from the consumer perspective. A product is likely to take many paths from the manufacturer to the retailer to the consumer. For example, this milk had many stops from the dairy before it arrived at the dairy department in your favorite grocery store. All of these are constituents of the supply chain, i.e. place. Thus remember, place delivers the product to the customers. Promotion is communication of words by the marketer to inform, persuade, and to remind potential buyers or customers about a product or service. The aim of promotion is to ultimately make sure that the customer purchase or to influence opinions as in an idea or when the product is an idea. In this picture, Calvin Klein's provocative advertising has helped create an image that is filled with youth, style, and sex appeal. Students, the statement that I would like to put forth is that marketing can be performed by individuals and organizations. This exhibit illustrates how the same product, for instance a laptop computer, can be sold from firm to firm, business to business, or from firm to consumer, business to consumer, and then be used likewise to be sold consumer to consumer, in other words, consumer to consumer. Have you ever bought from other consumers online? This has opened up the supply chain to another channel of distribution. Many options are available to buy consumer to consumer online, especially with the development of online cooperatives like SD.com, and I've made this link available to you, so I ask that you would access this. Marketers affect stakeholders. Customers represent one stakeholder group, but others include all those in the supply chain, employees, and society at large. Supply chain partners include manufacturers, agents, wholesalers, retailers, and so on. All the places of distribution are called the supply chain. Students, marketing has been through several eras. This exhibit graphically represents the changes over time from an emphasis on production to one based on value-based marketing. The production-oriented era took place around the turn of the 20th century when firms believed a good product would sell itself. In the sales-oriented era, however, production and distribution techniques improved and supply outpaced demand. Firms found an answer to overproduction by focusing on sales. In the market-oriented era, the focus was on what customers wanted. Now we are in the value-based era, which maintains the market orientation but also includes a focus on giving greater value than the competition. Value represents the relationship of benefits to costs. Value-based marketing means implementing a marketing strategy according to what customers value. Students, how does this campaign for Pepperidge Farm cookies depict value? It does this by describing their ingredients in a very luxurious terms. Very impressive for a supermarket cookie that's not highly priced. I just had one of these cookies, truly decadent. What a treat with the smoothness of the chocolate coupled with the crisp, delicate cookie. Remember, value discusses the relationships of the benefits to the cost. I would say this is a highly beneficial cookie to eat with minimal cost. Students, it is time for an assessment. What is the definition of marketing? Marketing is an organizational function and a set of processes for creating, communicating, and delivering value to customers, and for managing customer relationships in ways that benefit the organization and its stakeholders. Secondly, marketing is about satisfying needs and wants. The product, place, price, and promotion are the four components of the marketing mix. Number 4, individuals and organizations can perform marketing. Lastly, production, sales, market, and value-based are the various eras of marketing. Students, in the operation of an organization, why is it important to share information? So that ultimately the consumer experiences value. This brings up the point that many good marketing companies have cross-functional teams. Organizations should not operate, and I repeat, should not operate as a silo, but operate cross-functionally. For example, the finance and operations departments work together to bring value to the end consumer. So how do firms become value-driven? First off, by sharing information. Secondly, firms become value-driven by balancing benefits with costs. Thirdly, firms become value-driven by building relationships with customers. And lastly, firms become value-driven by connecting with customers using social and mobile media. Take a look at these statistics. 93% of marketers use social media. Likewise, 4.2 billion people globally link to social media through their mobile devices. However, what percentage of the world's population uses Facebook? You'll be probably amazed that only 10% of the world's population uses Facebook, which means 90% still have not signed up. There is still a huge growth potential for social networks. Much revenue and value creation is yet to be made. Social networking is in its introduction as far as the product life cycle is concerned. Please look at the enclosed link that I've provided for you. Students, it's time for an assessment again. We've got to make sure we're getting this stuff. Does providing good value mean selling at a low price? No. Value-based marketing isn't just about low price. It's about creating strong products and services. It's about providing value to the customer, to the consumer. The second question, how are marketers connecting with customers using social and mobile media? Marketers are steadily embracing new technologies, such as social and mobile media, to allow them to better connect with their customers and thereby serve their needs more effectively. Remember that the social media product is in its introductory stage in the product life cycle, as I told you earlier. Since only 10% of the globe is connecting to Facebook, an example of social media, there's great room for growth and revenue. Students, I love this exhibit. Why is marketing so important? Marketing has shifted its focus dramatically. Marketing has also evolved into a major business function that crosses all areas of a firm and organization. Marketing is thus cross-functional, operating in tandem with manufacturing, sales channels, human resources, research and development, finance, and accounting of an organization. Marketing is truly a major business function within an organization and does not operate as a silo. Students, this is our final checkup. Let us show one another what we have learned. What are the 5 factors that emphasize the importance of marketing? Marketing expands global presence. Marketing is pervasive across organizations. Marketing is pervasive across the supply chain. Marketing makes life easier. Marketing enriches society. And lastly, marketing can be entrepreneurial. Likewise, a firm doing the right thing emphasizes the importance of marketing. Thus, to do the right thing, the firm will emphasize society. This is a good time to introduce the debate of whether it's best to do right by society and right by stakeholders. Sustainability of an organization ensures that all marketing practices do right by society, thereby right by all stakeholders of the organization. In essence, marketing must create value for the consumer. Please review our growing vocabulary of marketing in the subsequent slides. I am so glad to have provided this lecture. I am so pleased to discuss marketing with you and to promote my love of marketing.